So I am looking. So looking into more opportunities. I just did a video about getting rejected and stuff like that. So what you do when you get rejected is start looking for more opportunities. So basically it was like some fellowships and stuff like that that I was looking into, summer opportunities, you know, and got rejected from them. So it opens me up again. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible in terms of like putting out what I want. I don't want to like change up too much what I want, right? Like I don't want to be like I was going for publishing jobs and now I'm going for like fintech jobs or something like that. I want to be more consistent, and I'm taking stock of my resume and making sure that it's a little bit more consistent now. It doesn't have as many breaks, it doesn't have many jumps, that a lot of the stuff kind of aligns so we can see stuff. I personally do not like the fact that you have to show how cohesive your career has been, because people do a lot of things over the course of their life. And actually, I feel like you would want candidates that know what it's like, excuse me, to be in different fields. Now, I do think it says something about someone who like jumps from thing to thing to thing. However, I think that being able to pivot it and grow is something that like most industries need. She's supposed to be a singer. I don't know. I don't want to like do it and then like it sounds terrible. So I'm trying to get my stuff together for that. In the last video I mentioned like it's not really phasing me that I've gotten a rejection. I've gotten a rejection. There's nothing really phasing me about that. There's nothing really like sad about that. There's nothing really like holding me back. Once I get rejected from stuff, I just kind of move and pivot to something else, and that's it. So that's where I am. I kind of just like move into the space. I might attend this. So yeah, I'm like looking at this. So I wrote my opportunities down. Let me get my thing. Hold on. Sorry. I had my brick while I was doing like this. Anyway, because I don't know how much you can hear that because I got these in, but these don't really affect the sound. So hopefully this doesn't fuck up the video. Anyway, again, handy dandy thing. Handy dandy. So I've been doing a few things. One of the things I've been doing, fellowships, I gotta get my shit together, apply for that stuff, is getting summer opportunities. So I have a few summer opportunities from the school, and I'm trying to get them all together. Another thing I'm trying to do is think about the courses and the workshops and retreats that I want to do over the summer. I do think I want to like start having like some write-in type sessions or something like that, like once a month maybe, like YouTube or whatever. But I do want to have like an actual like workshop type thing and have like the ability to like talk about it and stuff like that. So there's that. So I'm just trying to keep good. The other thing is a major one in 2025 is actually I'm looking at a lot of like retreats and stuff like that, which kind of surprised me because I mean I went to the retreat last semester and I really enjoyed it, but I kind of was like, wow, like okay, you know, it seems like retreats are one of the things that you do like every like year of the year or something like that. It seems like people don't really do them all the time, and then there's people that are career, but I find that like a lot of people seem like they just, you know, they do it from time to time, but usually they're in some sort of literary circle, chat group that kind of like meets up and stuff like that. But I was kind of surprised, like once I started looking up writing retreats and stuff like that, I found quite a few, like a whole bunch. And now I'm just looking up them. Also, I'm trying to take care, because I am a student. I don't want to like start any major workshops that are like, you know, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Something on the weekend, something in the summer is kind of what I'm looking at. And so planning that is kind of good. The only thing is you're planning for time that you may or may not have taken up, right? You like, there's nothing solidified until you get accepted. And that's the thing about planning when it comes to like writing stuff. Like until things are like solidified, you can't really like divvy out like all the energy that you need to, or all the stuff that you need to, because like you're waiting on so much stuff. It's the same thing for the artwork. Like when you submit stuff for art, like submissions and fairs and vending opportunities, stuff like that, you get them or you don't, but it's like there's such a waiting time in between them that it's just like, oh my god, you forget about it, and then you plan something else, or you know, all this kind of stuff. So I would say don't necessarily fill up on all the stuff that takes place at the same time. Apply to stuff that takes place, maybe 2 or 3 opportunities that take place during the same amount of time. So like there's 2 or 3 opportunities I'm applying for, like maybe like 4, let's do 3 to 5 opportunities per like semester that you're trying to do something. And I'm talking about major ones that would cause you to take time commitments away from other things perhaps, and like things that you obviously wouldn't be able to do. Now if you have a job, or like a full-time job or something like that, you definitely have to kind of play your cards correctly, because some of these opportunities are during the day, some of them are weekends, some of them are nights, and you have to kind of like plan around that. But I would say a way to be strategic is to kind of have 3 to 5 like opportunities that you want to apply to that occur roughly around the same time, and then also occur like they start when something is like ending. And I'm not saying like the day after or something like that, but like maybe you have like, you know, 2 to 6 weeks in between, and that way you can kind of roll into the next thing, so that way you don't feel like stagnant. Because in publishing, I kind of just feel like you could get a little bit monotonous. And then also when you stop doing stuff for a long period of time, especially if it was something that you were making money with, there's like this panic that sets in if you don't have enough money. I've been there, still there, but I've been there. And so the best thing you need to do is like line things up so that when one thing ends, and you know it's going to end, especially, right? Like if you have an internship that's set for 10 weeks, like you know after that 10 weeks it's done. And you know if you're getting paid, you know, bi-weekly or after the whole thing, or whenever, you know when you're getting like paid for it, or when you're getting credit for it, hopefully it's pay. You know when it ends. Prepare something like after that, or try to anyway. Or even like make your own opportunity. And it helps you to build like a steady stream of like opportunities and stuff like that. Opportunities, and build your resume, and it shows like consistency on your like resume, so you don't have like a bunch of like fucking gaps. You don't have one thing this summer and then like 3 summers later now you have something. They're gonna be like, what happened in that gap? Even though I feel like people should be understanding things happen to people. Some people have to go out of industry because they're not finding anything at the moment. They have to go and be like, you know, they have to go and be like a bartender. They have to go and be, you know, an office manager or something like that, work at the front desk of the law office, or, you know, they have to do like other shit like to make ends meet if like one opportunity just goes bust, or they may have to go back to the industry that they got the most skills in at the time, you know. So take these things into consideration when you're like making your decisions about what you want to do. But I definitely would apply to things that are around the same time, roughly the same amount of time, and also start looking for things when other opportunities that would come after that time wise, when they start opening up, apply for them as fast as possible. Make sure you meet the criteria for it and go for it. And I definitely recommend like 3 to 5 opportunities per time you do that, especially if you're like a student trying to do semester work or summer work or winter work. You just want to show that you're consistently doing stuff. Don't burn yourself out. Don't like feel like you have to like you know, burn yourself out. But yeah, that's my little advice. So that's what I'm kind of planning. I'm trying to plan things consistently every month that I'm going and interacting with my field, going out, doing that. So outside of these opportunities, that's another thing you want to consider. Do you have local write-ups, local meetups, just things that you can do to keep yourself engaged? Again, excuse me, you don't want to burn yourself out, but if you're really, I want to say, I don't want to be rude, but if you're serious about being in publishing or writing, having a writing publishing career, be consistent in join stuff, be consistent submitting, try to do, try to make opportunities pop for you, because the way it's working, especially if you're not in a region of the world, even places like the US, there's certain regions of the US that are popping for art, popping for music, popping for writing, popping for engineering, popping for culinary arts, popping for like movies and screenwriting and stuff like that. And there's places that are just like completely dead. Like, you will not find industry here, and so you have to take it seriously. You have to like take things into consideration. I think just make sure that you're using your time to secure things consistently so that you feel like you're moving forward, because I definitely am aware of like how people, I don't think people like to admit this because people are very on this like capital wave and stuff like that about like work and hustle culture and stuff like that. But like, what I find when you talk to somebody who is like depressed is usually like things are not progressing in their life. Like, things are not, like, once you get past like they're just more day-to-day things, it's usually a lot of regret. It's usually a lot of stuff like they wish they could do. They usually feel stuck. And one of the ways you don't get stuck is if you keep moving forward. You have to keep applying for stuff. You have to keep moving up. You have to be consistent. And yes, it's very tiring to move through life. I'm trying to get my knots. Happy Black History Month. Black History here. Black History Month. But you have to like keep going. And I have suffered with depression, so I know. Like, I've been employed for nearly 2 years at one point, so I know. And I know that was the point in my life where I felt the most stagnant and stuck. And had I kept going, I feel like I probably would have gotten out of that funk a lot easier. But I just, definitely for the writers out there, stay consistent. So apply to stuff monthly, join up with people monthly, try to make a social calendar that includes this thing that's a part of your industry. You don't have to be like that fake person that like wants to meet up with all the serious people in your industry and like go wear the suits and stuff like that. Sometimes you can just go to the karaoke event that they're hosting, the slam poetry event, or the reading event for a new book that's being released at your local library, and network there. Don't discount the smaller opportunities, like I said in the other video, that will move you ahead. And so that consistently, like every month, every 2 months, quarterly, whatever, have those goals to like really engage with community, really engage with your own work and submit and get feedback and all that kind of stuff. But then also look to secure these opportunities, and so you can have like that 10 weeks, a little bit of a gap, and then you start something else, and it'll keep you just in the flow. So that's all I have to say about that. Keep yourself in the flow, keep yourself working, grinding, moving forward. I definitely recommend a book like this, something to write down, get your planner together, get your plans together, get your timelines together. And don't be afraid to apply, like I said, to more than one thing at the same time. That way it gives you the best option for you, especially if it's money-wise, like, something maybe 12 weeks, but a lower pay rate than something that's 8 weeks total, right? Figure it out. So, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.